Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to the final episode of Where's Waldo? Arabic Letters Edition. Or Where's Wally for those of you who are British. Probably a really poor impersonation of a British. Are you British? Anyway, today we're going to be going through the entirety of the passage. But before we do, let's do a quick recap of all the letters that we've already covered thus far. Our version. We covered Alif with Hamza. We covered a boat, right? And then there's somebody sinking at the bottom, because the reason we start with Alif is because this is Southwest Alif, Texas, aka Southwest Houston, where we get a lot of rain. So every other person has a boat, and so when you get on a boat, you rescue some people. That's the person that's floating in the water below. You get them on the boat, so you and your fellow person together. Now you have two people in the boat. Two people. You go out to get some tacos with two toppings, but then you find that you want 3 toppings, and so you end up with 3. So from there, you realize you ate so many tacos, and so now you realize you need to go to the gym, and you bring Jimmy John along with you, and you bring a jug of water. But then that jug of water, through the exercising at the gym, becomes empty. It's a hollow jug, and then after that, you start feeling an itchy scratch in your throat. You're like, and so that's when you also correct your friend Jimmy John, because he keeps calling you Ahmed. He's like, no, it's Ahmed. You fill it up. Ahmed. Ahmed is not a person. Maybe there is, I don't know, but it's not the way you pronounce it. This is basically the noise you make when your throat is itchy. And so from that point, you recognize that it is now Domingo, right? Which is Dal. Then you recognize there's a this and that, because whenever you want to point things out, it's either this or that. Then you have race car, and then you have a race car that goes zoom, zoom. Now the question is, have you seen the letter seen, which is like that? And if you've seen the letter seen, but it's got 3 dots on it, it becomes a sheen. Now, at this point, you're so shiny that you want to go build something, and therefore you get yourself a little saw, but you recognize that this saw, it needed a dot on top because you wanted a bob. Now, here's the thing. Arabic is a unique language. It's probably the only language in the currently that's actively practiced that has the sound that this letter make. But don't worry, we're not worrying about the sounds. We're only worrying about the shapes of letters. So, Sad Dad, there we go, and you turn into Tweety, the Tweety Bird from Looney Tunes, and you're like, hey, I thought Putty Cat. And then you did see the Putty Cat. And so therefore you get into your Kawasaki Ninja and you go woo, 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 and you zoom away. So at that point, you're going so fast, you get pulled over by a police officer. It turns out to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. And they go, basically what Arnold did in Total Recall. And at that point, you find yourself in New York City, and there's some gargling gargoyles that are hanging on top of some rooftops over there. I'm already covering this, but you got a and a ra. And then after you come across that, and then you meet up with Fat Felix, who has a really fat face. And you don't like the way he looks at you, and he says something really mean. And so you choke him out, and both his eyes pop out. So choked out Felix, aka. And then from there, you guys make up. You're like, all right, you know what? No hard feelings. I choked you out. It was a jiu-jitsu match. It was friendly. That's the only context in which you can effectively choke out people, because otherwise it would be considered battery and assault. And so you hug it out, and then you go out for some beef. You're looking specifically for a gaff, but Felix there, he's like, nah, man, I like lamb chops, and so he gets a lamb, and then, but then you become really good friends, and you start sharing memes with each other, and so after that, you shared a meme, he shared a meme, he shared another meme. You're like, wow, I never saw that meme before, and so wow is over there. We got after this point, it turns out that it's very likely that if you're watching this, you're of a South Asian persuasion, and so you need a pair of glasses. Why am I saying that? Because Urdu speakers will recognize this as a do chashmi hat, or it might even look like this, a teardrop, which is it's a hollow hat. After having shared those memes, saying wow, and recognizing there's a hat here, hey, it's like, hey guys, we forgot about, like, time passed so far. We recognize we're way past noon, and so that's usually where it would typically go. Hamza there. Hey, that's our next letter. Hamza from our staff also happens to be a letter here, but you'll also typically find it up there. Reminded me you forgot the noon. Hamza, wow, yeah, and then that's basically how we end. We end with the yeah. Well, these are all the letters of the Arabic alphabet in terms of how they look by themselves. We've already, if you want to know what they look like in the beginning, middle, and end, and its variations, do check out the series of the videos that we've been doing up until this point, if this is your first time watching. And you got to also see its variations here in the script, which is the last verse of Surat Al-Fath. If you enjoyed this, do let me know down in the comments below. If you would like to see a sound series of how these letters sound in terms of pronunciation and hearing and where that noise comes from, let me know down in the comments below. Otherwise, enjoy. I'll see you soon. Make dua for me and our team and for this studio to be able to produce more fun and engaging content. Assalamu alaikum.